tea time. Let me tell you a story about a woman who's getting ready for her very big day. She got highlights in her hair, a new haircut, and she put on her very best outfit. She stood up tall, took a deep breath, and walked right into the courtroom. Now, this woman had just got arrested for her third DUI, so it was time for her to face the judge. And when she did, the judge said, all right, I'm sentencing you to 180 days in jail, starting right now. And she's like, oh my God. They book her in. They take her to the jailhouse, take her to a cell, close the door. She's sitting there like, I don't even know how I'm going to get through this. The next morning she wakes up, she goes to eat breakfast. She's sitting there by herself, kind of sad. When all of a sudden she looks up, she sees a woman smiling and walking towards her. She's like, what? The woman says, hi, how you doing? My name is Brittany. Is it okay if I sit down? And she's like, yeah. And Brittany sits down and Brittany tells her, look, I've been in here for a year already. I'm just waiting for my sentence to be sent to prison so I can go to finish my time out. And she's like, oh, Lord, Brittany. But she actually likes her. She thinks she's cool. They become friends. They start having breakfast every day, spending time together. And she meets another woman who tells her, I think you're cute. And she's like, oh, you do? And the woman's trying to hit on her. And she gives the woman a chance, but then she realizes this is not what I want. So she politely tells the woman, hey, I'm not interested. I'm just trying to finish out my time. And the woman says, oh, yeah? And then the next thing you know, the woman comes back and attacks her. She tries to kill her. So the guards break it up and they take her over to another unit. While she's over there spending her time, she's like, I cannot believe this is happening. Can I please just finish this sentence? And they come back and get her after some time and take her back to the original unit. As she's walking to her new cell, she's like, what is this going to be about? And they open the door. And guess who's in there? It's Brittany, her friend. She's like, okay. And she says hi to Brittany. But when she's looking at her this time, it's not just friendship. She's feeling some kind of attraction. But she said, no, I'm not going to say anything. So her and Brittany continue to build their friendship. They living in close quarters now. They go from having all their meals together to doing sweet things for each other, taking care of each other. They feel like they're a couple, but they're not saying anything. Well, eventually she's like, you know what? I'm going to put it out in the open. She says, Brittany. And Brittany's like, yeah. She's like, I don't want you walking around here thinking you single. And Brittany's like, okay. So they officially became a couple, and they spend the rest of their time just waiting for her time to run out. And when it does, on her last day in jail, they say goodbye. That same day they're saying goodbye, Brittany's actually leaving that same day too to go to prison to finish out the rest of her sentence. So they really saying goodbye. When she gets home, she's living with her parents. She's trying to get her life together, but she can't stop thinking about Brittany. So they keep in touch. They talking, they writing, they eventually falling in love. Like she's a whole prison wife around here. And she decides that she's going to stick things out. Well, Brittany gets out not a few months later because her sentence has been cut in half. And she goes to pick up Brittany, brings her back home to her parents' house, and they get her daughter to come and live with them too. And they create a little family unit while they're trying to get themselves together. They both get jobs, they get clean and sober, and they starting to feel like, okay, things are going to go well. They start saving their money, and eventually they get their own home. So they move into their new home, they start furnishing it, they start feeling like, okay, life is good now. And she's sitting back looking at her life like, what? It took 180 days in jail for me to get all this? I got the wife that I wanted, I got the family that I wanted, I got the house that I wanted, and I'm happy. God must have orchestrated all of this just to bless me. And they still together.